What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Appreciate Greatness. As y'all know, Damian Lillard is a buck, and I'm excited. Damian Lillard is one of my favorite players, so to see him have a really, really good chance to get a ring is awesome. But it just felt like this Damian Lillard saga was never gonna end, man. Like, just opening Twitter and every day it's something new. Oh, Damian, or it's something old even. Oh, Damian Lillard Heat, Damian Lillard Raptors. Right? The Raptors made their name known in the past 48 hours, I would say. And it didn't turn out to work out, I guess. I mean, I'm just kind of in shock. Jimmy Butler went on his Instagram and said that the NBA needs to investigate the Bucks for tampering, which is wild. Let's recap this trade and I'll tell you all my thoughts and my opinions for each team, and let's get into it. So the full trade details here is the Blazers trade Damian Lillard, Yusuf Nurkic, Nazir Little, Keon Johnson, and receive Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, 2029 Bucks unprotected first, and then 2 pick swaps I think in 2028 and 2030. The Bucks traded Drew Holiday, the picks, Grayson Allen, and they got Dame. For that little bit of stuff, they got Dame. And then the Suns traded DeAndre Ayton and Toumani Camara to receive Yusuf Nurkic, Nas Little, Grayson Allen, and Keon Johnson. It's a very interesting deal, but I think we need to talk about the Heat first. Them having the chance, such a great chance to go out and get Dame, it's mind-boggling to me how, they kind of were just daring them. Instead of adding on, I would have given up Hero, I would have given up Jovic, I would have given up Jaquez, and then all your first. I would have done it. But instead, the Heat were kind of just testing the Blazers, and they tested them so much to where it felt like things got quiet for a while, and then the Blazers and the Bucks swoop in and steal it. And to me, that's just very insane, very stupid, because now if you're the Heat, this is a team you've faced in the playoffs a lot lately. You beat them last year, you beat them a couple years ago, you lost to them a couple years ago. I mean, the Heat not getting Dame is ultimately going to screw them over, because Dame went to the top team in their conference. I mean, you have to take advantage of times where you can get ultra top 10. Damian Lillard is a top 10 player in this league, and I don't think there's much of a discussion. He averaged 58 games, I know, but he averaged 32 last year. They had a chance to combine Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo on one team. Of course, there were going to be the undrafted guys. There were going to be the whole, the role players are just kind of they're kind of shaky. But they had a chance, and they had a great one at that, and they lost it. They let it slip. Pat Riley, it's like he just fell asleep again. We remember the trade deadline last year. He fell asleep. That happened to work out. I don't think this is going to work out. I think this is going to be one of those things where we look back and we're like, dang, that was kind of the downfall of the Miami Heat. I don't like the direction they're trending in at all. Obviously you still have Kyle Lowry, but he's 37, 36. I mean, he's old, 35 maybe. He's old. I don't like it. The first team I want to talk about though is the Suns. In the trade deal is the Suns. They traded DeAndre Ayton and Toumani Camara, who never played a game, but he played the summer league and got a thank you post from the Suns media team, which I thought was kind of goofy. But they got back Yusuf Nurkic. They got back Nas Little, Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson. I think Nas Little and Grayson Allen are great role players. Nas Little, pretty good 3-and-D guy, good wing, still young, still developing. A lot of development left. Great athlete, honestly. And then Grayson Allen, who I would say above average defender. I can't put him in that the serious, hey, this is a elite defender talks yet, but he is a solid defender. Then you get Keon Johnson, who just how many times can that poor guy possibly get traded? But Yusuf Nurkic was kind of the guy in this deal, right? On Twitter, I don't remember who tweeted it, probably Hoop Central, said the Suns are looking for, and the Suns and Frank Vogel are looking for a defensive-minded center. They go out and get Yusuf Nurkic. Now, what Nurkic can really do defensively is end off the possession, finish the possession. Other than that, he's not a great defender. He used to be a great positional defender. He got hurt. was it a broken leg, I think? Broke his leg. Now he's just not much of a defender anymore. And that to me is just interesting because I almost would rather have kept DeAndre Ayton. Now, I do like that you got those solid pieces in Nas Little and Grayson Allen. But man, it's such a weird, like Yusuf Nurkic of all guys. It's just weird. It's weird to me. All right, let's talk about the Blazers next. They got Drew Holiday and Ayton. I think, I don't hate the thought of trading for DeAndre Ayton. What I don't like is that they didn't get really any young guys who they can try and develop and flourish other than Toumani Camara, who Dayton kid. I don't expect a ton from him. Maybe at the best he's a Aaron Gordon type player, which is very impactful winning player. At the best, he's probably Magic Aaron Gordon. But DeAndre Ayton, never been in that situation where he's the guy, and not even necessarily the guy, just a focal point in the offense where he's really getting the ball. They're feeding him. They fed him. Chris Paul fed him, but just not the way that I think he has an opportunity to do in Portland. And maybe we see a whole different DeAndre Ayton. We saw aggressive DeAndre Ayton. We saw flashes of that, and he is a beast. We know that, but just 18. What do you average? 18 and 12, 18 and 10, 18 and 11, somewhere in there. That's just not it's not like the highest of production of 18 and 11 that we've ever seen. It's more of just like, if he could get 22 and 11 this year, I would be very impressed. I would be very happy, especially if I'm a Blazers fan, where we have Scoot, Shaden, and DeAndre Ayton, Drew Holiday, who's probably going to start for like half the season, then they'll ship him away, and then you slide Scoot into the starting lineup, which I think that plan, if that's their plan, you trade Drew for a pick or two, and then slide Scoot into the starting lineup. I really like that, because what we see with rookies is it takes them a second to get adjusted. And so you allow Scoot to adjust coming off the bench, and then slide him into the starting lineups for the second half of the season, where we see most rookies take off. I think Scoot could really benefit from that, and learning behind Drew Holiday, who's well respected amongst the NBA peers, and one of probably the best leaders if you're trying to develop a guard, one of the best guys one of the best teachers, I would say, for a guy who you're trying to develop. The first, obviously, that's probably the best part of this trade, is because 2029 and 2030, Dame will be 39 and 40. He's probably out of the picture. Who knows with Giannis, right? Moving on to the Bucks, right? Giannis was probably he was on this little media run where he was like, hey, I want to win. I love Milwaukee. I'm willing to dip. I'm willing to go. And that's why I love this trade so much for the Bucks, is they realized they had to do something. They want to keep Giannis. They realized it. They go out and they get a top 10 player in the NBA. Obviously, you trade Drew, which is kind of a heart and soul, right? But, I mean, you got a top 10 player. Offensively, I mean, think of Damian Lillard pick and roll with Giannis. I told my friend yesterday, he's a Bucks fan. I was like, imagine Giannis chase down block into a Dame 30-footer. Imagine how deflating that would be for the opposing team. I mean, this is just such a, I think it's such a perfect fit, right? It's unlike any big three we've ever seen, because you look at the Nets big three, you look at even the Heatles, right? D-Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh. There's no outside shooting. There's no outside threat in those three. Kyrie, James Harden, KD. That's just a lot of guys who want the ball in their hand, want to cook, want to ISO, attack. Not much catch and shooting, and not much defense. But with this Bucks big three, you have Dame, Giannis, Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton, great in the mid-range, great catch and shooter. Dame, obviously one of the best three-point shooters, if not the best three-point shooter, other than Steph, of all time. And then Giannis, who's just a bruiser, gets downhill, great playmaker, does everything. He's the MVP. And that's what I love about this, is you have a guy like Giannis and you have a guy like Dame. And Dame can really, he showed he can play off CJ McCollum, right? He can play off the ball, without the ball, play off ball. And now instead of CJ McCollum, it's Giannis, who's a fantastic playmaker. And I'm really excited to see what that looks like. It's just incredible that they traded Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, in picks for Dame. I mean, that's incredible. And if you're the Heat, you have to be thinking, we fucked up. Like, why didn't we hop all over this? The Bucks, man. I think the Bucks are my title favorites, and obviously there's a little hole in the 2 guard, and there's a hole defensively. I'd say, you may throw Marion Beauchamp in there. He's going to be good defensively. Offensively, there's a lot to be desired. Pat Connaughton, maybe. What I was thinking, again, I was talking to my friend. I was like, what if you throw Dame out there, throw Dame at the point guard, Chris at the 2, and Giannis at the 3, Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez to round out the bigs. I think defensively that's a great lineup. Brook Lopez is, 36 now, 35, but he's going to be very impactful. He's going to be the defensive player that we know he can be. He's going to stretch the floor. This Bucks team is scary and might just be, with Malik Beasley coming off the bench. The bench worries me a little bit, but they might just be the title favorites coming into the season. I hope y'all enjoyed. This was just kind of my initial reaction to Damian Lillard getting traded. I should have worn my Dame jersey or hung it up or something, but I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'll get more videos out. I've been having a wild week, a busy week and a half, really, so I haven't been able to record, but I am planning on the standings videos coming soon, and I'll probably do a breakdown of some players soon too. So I hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.